Hi there and welcome to the Bradbury Young channel. Now, continuing on from my last video, I'm actually going to be making the Kwik Sew 4102. Previously I have done the mock-up for that. I say that was in my last video, and it took me somewhat a bit longer than I was expecting, partly because I just seemed to have some issues and troubles with it. But the mock-up is done, and I feel ready to actually get on and do the main garments now that I'd sorted out the issue I'd had with the neckband and placket, button placket piece that's all runs all in one. If you'd like to see that video, I will put a link to it so you can see that if you haven't yet watched it. See the drama of me trying to understand instructions, which you wouldn't think would be that hard, but I made a meal of it. But there you go. I'm going to be making pattern A, which is this one, which is a slightly shorter version of it. Now I've got all my pieces copied out. I always trace them out, and I've got them cut out ready to go, all here nice and neat. Have made a couple of tiny adjustments, as it were, from previously. First of all, I'm going to be doing the size medium, and what I've done is what they call the skirt piece, which is this section here. I've actually shortened it a little bit, and the back piece that's forms the back, that piece has quite a lot of gathering in it. So what I've done is I've actually shortened the whole thing so there's less gathering in there, because I don't feel that I want that much gather in the back, but hopefully it should come out all right. So I'm now ready to go and get on with actually getting on making it with the material that I've already shown, but it is this Lemur print, and I've decided that the colour is peach. That's a peach colour. That's what I've determined. So that's all ready to go. So next up, I suppose, is iron this material and get it cut out so I can start sewing. Well, I've got everything cut out now, and I've got all my, I put tailor's tacks in, so I like to do it sometimes, especially on a lighter colour material. And next step really is to do some interfacing on these smaller pieces and these longer bits for the buttons, the neckband, and then I got to start doing the pleats, and there's pleats on the back and on the front pieces, so interfacing and then pleats. And there we have some pleats on the front bodice section. This will be sort of up here sort of area when it's done. So that's the two pleats done. Now the instructions say to just baste that little bit of a stitch in that I've done. I imagine that once you've put the well, it should be that once you put the front yoke piece on, you can take that basting out, but it will still hold that pleat there. It's quite nice little detail like that. Better do the back pleat as well now. Well, I've got my pleats done, and after that it says to, well, never mind what it says. I'm actually going to depart from the instructions at this point because I'm going to change the order of construction. So I've got my yoke pieces here, the front yoke piece and a back yoke piece twice. So what I was going to do is I was going to use a contrasting material for the basically the yoke facing on the inside, but I decided no, I do have enough material and more in case I'm making mistakes, but hopefully, touch wood, won't make any mistakes. So I'm doing it all in the same material. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to put the yokes together, so the back yoke and the front yoke at what is the shoulder seam for the main yoke and for the facing pieces. Then I'm going to put it in, or else should I say I'm going to insert everything together using what's called the, I presume it's called the burrito method. We'll get there at some point, but let's get these yokes done. Well, I've got the front and the back prepped with the pleats that are in there, and I've got both of my yokes done. I've got two yokes here. I've got the front and the back yoke pieces all together, so I just need to now put it all together so it joins it all up. Now, I have been having a look and I've seen it mentioned, heard it mentioned, the burrito method. Sounds a bit odd, but basically you're sort of stitching parts in and then rolling up and stitching another seam and turning it out, and hey presto, there you go, it's done. Now, the examples that I've been looking at, they seem to be more for tops where you've got a larger facing piece. So like in a bodice that's also going to seal the armhole as well at the same time. I'm not doing the armhole because I don't need to go and do bias taping on the armhole to cover that up, because there's no sleeve on this top. So I am going to do the roll-up method with the yokes on for the back and front pieces, and this is actually very similar, or pretty much the same as the shirt that I make, the Kwik Sew 3555. I have mentioned this before, but that's a method of sort of rolling up, stitching and then turning it through, and basically I'm doing the same method here. So let's get on with it and see how it works out. yoke in and sorted, which seems to have come out quite nicely. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the way that looks. I now need to put in the bias tape. Now actually on the instructions it does say to sew up the side seams first and do them and then put the bias tape on, but I'm not happy with that. I'm going to put the bias tape on first because I think that where it comes to the seam, where it finishes there, will finish nicer if I put that bias tape on first to do the armhole. So that's what I'm going to do. Now I've got this bias tape and it doesn't come up very well, but it's meant to be like a cream, but I mean, to me it's almost got, I don't know, it's cream, it's almost got a slight green hint to it, but then I've got green in here, and then I didn't want it to be too much of a clash, so it's quite a muted bias tape, so hopefully that will just be a nice subtle contrast on that armhole. So I'll get that put in, which will take me some time because not good with bias tape. I am getting better, but I still tend to sew it in by hand when I put the first put it on, and then when I fold it over and do the second stitch, that's the part I do by machine. But yeah, a bit of hand sewing now, so better get on with that. Well, I've got my bias tape on the armholes, so all I've got to do now is actually stitch the sides together and make that all neat and clean up that edge. So get those two done, and then I can start on the bottom section. Well, I've got the top section finished now, so I'm certainly getting there, but I mean still quite a bit more work to do. So I'm just giving it a first sort of proper try. Now I've got the sides done the armholes. Yeah, seems quite nice. It's definitely a little more closer fitting than the mock-up, which was in large, because I made this in the medium size. So yeah, a little more close fitting, definitely. The armholes, yeah, I'm quite happy with them. Seem okay. Of course, I can't really quite tell how it's going to be until I get the bottom section on. But it does seem to sit alright. It sits quite high up. If anything, I could have even got away with probably lengthening this bodice section a little bit. But never mind. It is what it is. And yeah, it seems quite comfortable enough. I've just put it together there because you're going to have the button placket piece in there as yet. So it doesn't need, this bit doesn't really need to overlap. The back seems okay. It's not like I can really see it myself, but because I haven't got the bottom piece on, this just seems to be flapping about a bit. But yeah, it's definitely come together quite nice. So better battle on and get that bottom section on so I can really understand how the whole thing's sitting, and then it's the neckband and button placket, but we'll get there. Well, I've got that bottom section on, what they call the skirt section of it. Really long enough as a skirt, but it is I don't know, just a bottom section for it. Now, what I've done is I've actually shortened this. It was somewhat longer, but I've taken out, I don't know, say a couple of inches probably, you know, some like something like 40 mil, thought, yeah, 40 mil, 4 centimetres, 4 to 5 centimetres or so from the actual total length of this, because I didn't want it as long as it said. And I've actually shortened it in the length of it, sorry, in the width, so I have less of these ruffles. Still got quite a lot in there, as you can see. Still gives a definite shaping, but I took some of that out because I didn't feel that it needed quite as much, because there's still quite a lot of ruffles there, and it makes a lot of bulk really, and it makes it a bit difficult to sew. Same with goes on the back. I definitely took out some of the width on that, but I say because the width is including all those ruffles, I just got less ruffle, but even then it's still quite a gathered section on the front and back, but it seems to fit really quite nicely. I think I just need to hold it there at that point, because like I say, I've yet to put that neckband and button placket piece on, but the length I like. I still to hem it up yet, haven't done that, so I've taken a little bit of length out of it, but not much, but it seems to be really quite nice. I'm quite enjoying the fit of this. It is a little bit snugly fit on me now, rather than what it was before when I made the mock-up, because that was a large and this is a medium, and there's quite a bit of difference between the two sizes. So yeah, it's definitely a closer fit, but I still feel that this is a much better fit for me. So really all I've got to do now is get that neckband and button placket on, which the mock-up gave me some trouble, but hopefully, because I'd worked out what the issues were, and I hopefully know what I'm doing this time, that will come on quite quickly. So onto that bit, and well, nearly there. So it's ready, I've done it, it's finished, so let's have a look at it. And here we are, I've finished top, and yeah, it's quite nice. I do quite like it. It's not quite as I expected, but it does seem to have come out really quite well. So as you can see, it's all done. I managed to get it finished eventually, not without issue though. Now, this neckband, let me tell you, it's okay, just breathe. It really, yeah. On the mock-up it was a bit of a swine to get in, and on the main making this, it was also a swine. The problem being, I feel, is that this part of it goes in okay, but this neckband piece that's on there, the curvature, it's a very tight curve, so getting it to go in is really, it just seemed really difficult. I just couldn't get it to go. I actually took it out twice before I managed to get it in, so it was absolute palaver. I did film some of that and part of that process, but it just got so messy. I just thought I'm not going to include that bit in the video, in the vlog, because it was just me getting harassed and using, so I'd say, colourful language, to say the least, because it was driving me absolutely bonkers. So all in all, it's a nice top. I like it. I like the length that I've changed it to. I think that suits me much better. I like the way it's come out. The material is lovely. It's a cotton poplin, and I think it sits really well. I like the way the sleeves have actually come in the end. I was worried that they were they come over the shoulder a bit too much, but actually I feel they need to, because there aren't any sleeves on there. I think if it came up too high, it just wouldn't look quite right. But yeah, so I'm glad that I've made it this way. But yeah, to say that it was not taxing would be a lie, because it really drove me quite mad. So yeah, it's a quick sew, but it's not quick. And even though this is obviously going to be supposedly for people with I don't know, a little bit of skill, but not, you know, not a seasoned professional, as it were, then I think this one will give people problems if they have a go at it. It certainly gave me problems. Instructions a bit lacking maybe, and the way that it's constructed. The order construction seemed a bit odd to me. I changed the way I put the yoke in, and actually when I put it in for this one came out much better than when I did the mock-up, so I'm glad I changed that. The bottom section, what they call the skirt section, brilliant, it's fine. I think I would still take out more of the gathering, so there's less gathering in it, especially on the back. I don't think it needs that much gathering, but it does give it a nice detail, makes it flare out a little bit. But yeah, all in all, it was not that enjoyable a process of making it, quite frankly. I think if I was looking at this and going, shall I make it again? No, I probably wouldn't. At least not in the way that it's constructed like this. If I could work out a way of making it, but with a little bit different construction method, then I might give it a go. So maybe in the future, once I've got more experience and I've got more understanding of how to deal with patterns and how to change patterns to make them easier to put together, then I might do. But for the moment, it's going to get hidden in the bottom of the drawer and probably stay there until I realise that it's still there at some point in the future. So there you go, the Kwik Sew 4102. A nice top. I think if you've got the patience and experience to do it, then have a go. But nice top, I'll wear it, I won't make it again. But never mind, that's the way it goes sometimes. They don't always a winner, are they? Even though I've got a nice top to wear. But anyway, thank you for watching my video, and I look forward to seeing my next video. Bye.